Hello everyone, my name is the Mule and welcome back to, welcome to a Planet Coaster video where I'm going to show a little sort of spotlight sort of progress video of the park I've been working on while we've been in lockdown. So the name of this park is Muel Landia, and well, I'll just say it's on a challenge park. I went for normal because this is the first time I've ever really done a sort of a playthrough of Planet Coaster like this, but I've tried my best as well to do as best theming and all of that, because I've never really done that when I've played these games. I've just usually gone to Sandbox, made the most crazy coaster, looked at the ratings, gone, oh, that's pretty rubbish. But this one I've tried to make a bit more realistic, and I haven't tried to go overboard with it, but, well, let me just show you what my creation has made. So as you can see, this is the landscape of Muel Landia. So as you can see, it's got a nice few sort of selection of coasters, and you might be able to notice that it is currently free themed areas. That is going to change as time goes on, but I have been playing for 15 years inside the game. I don't know how much that is, but quite a lot of it has just been waiting for research to be done, and you know, I've been playing that, or when I've been doing terrain editing and all these other things, I've been playing at free speed. So, you know, because I struggled at the start, I must admit, to try and get money. I kept, you know, I had 2 rides or 3 rides. No, I had 4 rides, and I just for about 3-4 years, I was just trying to build up enough money to then expand. But as soon as I could expand, it just seemed to, you know, I had another coaster, and bang, it just went like just the money exploded. But what we're going to do is we are going to start off with the park entrance, which is, as you may notice, is a very basic pirate sort of park entrance, which I thought looked quite nice because it was quite like a nice little villa looking thing, but it wasn't too overly themed, and but then it kind of spoke volumes of probably the biggest bit of the park. But it still looks nice, and I think it would fit in even if it wasn't a pirate themed section of the park right behind it. Well, kind of. But what I did do to this is I did edit where these are in it, as you may have already noticed. But that was just to make use of these extra bits because of where for whatever reason I can't build anything. Like here was where, like, this section it, that's the furthest I could come to actually build something. So, you know, I had to make use of that. But yeah, apart from that, it's 4 entrances, not really expensive to get in, but you know, I don't really know. You know, I wasn't really very clued on, and I just think if I make it expensive here, I've got to make the rides a lot cheaper, which, you know, in essence means that I have to try and get as many guests in. So I just thought it'd be better to pay people. Maybe we'll pay a medium amount all round. So as you come through the gates, you see there is a little bit of a sort of middle section of the path here with a you know, a basic sort of thing, just littered there. But then as you look to the right, this is like the starting of the main theme of the pirate area, but I will first talk about this sort of section in front. So as you can see, this is basically where my park started, where I first started getting, first started to make some rides, but obviously the landscape has changed since. But as you can see at the start, I didn't really theme anything, and obviously they need to come back with a touch-up. But and this ride here was actually my 3rd ride. But then as you carry on, if you look left, there is a thing that says Planet Coaster on it. This is just like a weird section, I'll get to it later, but basically this was meant to be just a more sort of thrill ride based sort of area. And while at the time I had mainly a pirate theme, I sort of carried through this, like I thought, I can put some new rides in, different rides, and, you know, because I wanted to branch out a little bit, but, you know, I sort of stopped there with the theming really. But let's have a little look through this pirate section. So obviously we've got this very standard looking pirate entrance into a lot more well themed areas. So here we have got obviously a couple of flat rides, or 3 of them, a coaster, which was the first coaster I actually built in this park. And then obviously there is a pirate ship, got to be in the pirate area, and some shops and a hotel. I'm in no way happy with this little section or done at all, because it's just a little bit sporadic. But basically I tried my best to theme this area as best I could to you know, a pirate sort of area, you know, and like it's not amazing. I want to maybe come back later and redo a lot of stuff, but it is my first attempt, so I'm pretty happy for now. This coaster here, which I have aptly named the Kraken or Kraken, I had this as a first coaster. It was really rubbish, and I eventually, as I moved this section, this pirate section, from the middle to over more towards the right, I was able to, with enough funds, make it into a coaster that I think is semi-decent. May not be the smoothest, but it's got good, decent-ish stats. If I have a look, maybe not the best, but it seemed to be alright, and I was happy with the design. But as you may notice, I have got one of these rides, which I think is called a Loopy Turns ride, and I've got another one here, which this one here was basically put in because I saw it on the workshop and I thought, I quite like it, I want to use it. I know I've got one the same, but they are distinctly two different coasters. So if you had a park, you know, it's, you know, the equivalent of like having, I don't know, like a, maybe two sort of, you know, B&M Hyper and a B&M Giga maybe, you know, like same manufacturer, same look and ride, but just different heights and different sort of bits you're looking at, really. Like, whereas in this one's a bit more about fast spaced turns. That one is a bit more about its elements, realistically, the loop and the dive. I think it's a dive. And then we have a classic Woody, which was my second attempt at a roller coaster. And obviously I had a ride, it was janky as anything, and I went, right, I'm going to go in Sandbox, and I ended up with this, which has a very, apart from, it could be a bit more fearful, I believe. I think that's what's wrong. It needs to be about a 4 fear, and I think that would get green, but it's not too bad. It's sort of a middle intermediate ride, which fits in with the fact that I could make this area a bit more of a family area if I moved that out, but then again, it's not even, those ratings aren't even as good as the one I made, but you know, you could make this into a little bit of a family area with the addition of this coaster, because they're not too big realistically, like, you know, for this sort of game. But yeah, and then obviously just the little last bit left over in the pirate section is this Plunder Falls. This was my first attempt in this park at a log flume, and it's been sat here since the first, and I need to move it, but I just haven't quite thought of the way to do it and make it look nice. So it might end up eventually becoming part of some theming for somewhere else, and then eventually get a track update and all of that, but right now it is just sitting there. So coming straight through from the pirate area, we have the Fantasyland, which basically started off with the Witch's Hunt ride, or haunt, and I just slapped that down because it was good and it seemed to attract a massive amount of people. And I've put down a couple of a sort of just fairy tale themed shops. So we've got like a Gulpy, which I actually custom made the Gulpy. I literally used this one, that formula for this, for that. So basically copied that, took out the Chief Bee stuff, put Gulpy on it, and then we got the Hat Fantastic there. But the Kraken ride used to come up this way, so sort of probably station around about here, that way. So I changed it all to make its land a little bit more you know, distinctive, and there's a bit of a gap in between, which we should be able to fill with something or some, you know, do some landscaping eventually. But yeah, as you can see, there's a few feeble attempts of basic scenery, and obviously a tunnel with a castle on it, and I don't know why I put that there, I just did, and that was to hide the supports that were coming too close to here. And then we come to a bit more of a thrill ride, which is my own custom B&M inverted coaster. It comes down to a sort of basic thing, into a loop, into a cobra roll, and then back into a braking zone, down into the station. Not very long, but it's got everything green, so I'm not going to complain about that. So hopefully should be making money, but most likely not. So, oh, it is making money. It wasn't before, but yeah, I dreamed this to the Dragon, but I am going to do a haul on this because I do have a ride that you will probably see in the next update that is going to come in and replace the Dragon name. Yeah, as you can see, I've just dotted some flat rides around, and when I've got inspiration for different areas, like I did this little fountain here, when I've got little bits of inspiration for certain areas, I've just sort of done it and then moved on to what I wanted to do next. So that's why you're seeing quite a lot of half-assed stuff. So like, you know, I've got all of this piratey stuff here, but then there's this sort of main sector which isn't very well looked at, but that's because I'm sort of just covering my eyes and thinking it doesn't exist. But yeah, basically, my plans for this park realistically are to maybe figure out an identity for this area here, rebuild all of the, or redo, make sure this fantasy area comes out to be something quite nice with, I think, well, it's going to have one more thrill ride, then I think I'm going to do chuck a few more family rides ahead, just to sort of, you know, have the mix so I can appeal to more people. And then with the pirate ride, it's going to eventually come into a western, so it's going to be like a trip through time, sort of this way, really. You know, you have your pirates of the sort of, you know, maybe 1800s, maybe 1700s, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. And then into western, sort of in this corner, and then sort of have a big western area that I can theme quite well into. And well, the pirate section, probably not going to do too much more, but it's going to sprawl out a little bit, with then eventually a fairy tale land being quite big, and maybe I turn this into a bit more of a Bavarian area is what I'm thinking, because that, you know, but I haven't got a lot of. Right now, I'm just spearheading on the few bits that I know what I'm doing, which is Pirate Land upgrades and Fairy Tale upgrades, but for the rest of the park, it's a little bit undecided and up in the air, and you guys will be coming along with the journey with me on what happens. In the next few videos, I will do ride-alongs of each and every single ride that I have created, and I will also link, well, I will do these rides here, but I will do a link to them in the description of where I found them on the Steam Workshop. Any Steam Workshop rides will be done like that. I'll give credits to the person on Steam Workshop, but anything that is me will get a proper explanation or proper video showing, you know, that ride. But anyway, thank you very much, guys, for watching if you've made it to this point in the video, and I'm the Mule, and I'll see you on the next one.